We are looking at a systemic bug today, a stage 4 cancer, really, within the global operating system, and it's located in the Niger Delta. The resource circulation there it's failed completely. We have a blockage where capital just stagnates at the top, stolen by the state and foreign majors, while the residue, the actual population, is left to rot.
A systemic bug? You're reducing a profound humanitarian tragedy to engineering metaphors. These are people. They're suffering under criminal gangs and just total environmental devastation. This is a crisis of law and order that requires aid and enforcement, not some kind of software diagnosis.
It requires a system reboot, not a band-aid. Your sentimentality, it ignores the structural rot. The so-called illegal oil refining isn't a crime wave. It is a rational economic response. It's a local production for local consumption energy network that's emerging precisely because the official system has crashed. The Nigerian government isn't a sovereign body anymore. It is the blockage.
That is a dangerous romanticization of thefts. These networks you're praising are criminal syndicates. They're tapping into pipelines, boiling crude oil in the bush, and absolutely destroying the ecosystem. The smoke acts like a chemical weapon against local villages. The solution isn't to praise thieves, it's to restore the rule of law. It's to strengthen the state so it can manage resources properly for its people.
But you're still operating on the old logic. See, what you call illegal is actually an optimization. The state-run refineries are dead. They're rusted shut by corruption. These criminals, they are efficient, decentralized energy providers upgrading a failed system. They are keeping the economy of the entire region and even neighboring countries like Benin alive. To destroy them in the name of law is, it's fascism. It's the logic of exclusion.
Efficiency? It's a suicide pact. This optimization of yours is built on exploding infrastructure. People are dying in fires. Children are breathing soot. You cannot build a future on a foundation of stolen crude and primitive, lethal technology. The government has to intervene to stop this.
The government? Let's be precise about what that word even means here. The Nigerian state is currently functioning as nothing more than a private military company guarding oil fields. It's a local manager for foreign resource majors. It does not exist to govern, it exists to be a proxy for extraction. When the military sweeps in, they aren't protecting people, they are protecting inventory for Shell or for Chevron.
Okay, but even if the state is compromised, it is the only entity with the legitimacy to clean this mess up. We should be pushing for programs that employ these locals to remediate the environment, give them jobs cleaning up the spills, integrate them into a legal framework.
And there it is, the deception. You want to tell them to become, what, janitors of their own exploitation? You want to employ them to scrub the floor while the robbery continues upstairs? That is not a solution. The only fix is to upgrade them from criminals to legitimate producers. But the state will never do that. It can't. It needs the monopoly.
So you're suggesting we legitimize theft to bypass the state? That leads to anarchy. If you erode the entire concept of the nation-state, you leave those people vulnerable to even worse predation.
They are already barely surviving as residue. In the eyes of the current system, the population is a liability. In fact, here's the ultimate hack. If the populace were to mass migrate, if they just left the land empty, the legal entity of Nigeria would collapse. It would strip the oil majors of their sovereign state mask. Without the people to justify the state's existence, the whole operation is revealed as simple looting.
You are talking about the erasure of a nation, the dissolution of a sovereign country as a valid strategy? That is horrific. You would scatter millions of people just to prove a point about resource extraction?
I am saying the owner accumulation operating system is already dead. The collapse of the current state structure is inevitable because it consumes its own host. The only, and I mean the only, rational investment for survival is the transition to circular capitalism, where that illegal optimization is formalized and the parasitic state is bypassed entirely. That is the only way the host survives.
But at the cost of stability, you are inviting total collapse.
The cost has already been paid. We are done.